Hi everybody, my name is Magda and welcome to this week's episode of Psychology for Marketers. So today, let's talk about how to give feedback. As you know, feedback is crucial to helping other people perform better and grow, but unfortunately too often the way people give feedback works the opposite way. It discourages people, demotivates them, and in some cases actually makes them quit their job. So, how to give feedback to make sure that you help the person grow? So, today I want to share with you a few tips that I follow when it comes to giving feedback. As with most things, the first step is you. So, what is your attitude towards giving feedback? Do you fear giving feedback? So many people do. And it's because we think that giving feedback is something negative, that we're going to hurt the person, upset them, and they will not like us anymore. Well, the truth is that feedback can be like this, so continue watching this video because I want to share with you tips that will change it. But already now, I want you to start looking at giving feedback as a gift because you are providing value to the other person. You are telling them something important. See, in some cases, it's the feedback that is actually saving people from losing their job because they might be doing some mistakes they're not aware of, and knowing about it allows them to change their behavior and later saves their job or even makes them promoted. So always think of it this way. Giving a feedback is actually a gift. It's something of value that you're providing to the other person. And what's more, if you were asked to give feedback for somebody, that means that they value your opinion. So don't disappoint them and share what you think. Here is tip number 2. Remember that feedback is both on the positive and the negatives. It's very easy to go into the spiral of saying what the person is doing wrong and what they should change. Well, and it's great. We do want to implement these as well. But the truth is that you also need to say what the person is doing right. Very often, we don't even realize that we're good at something unless somebody tells us. So make sure you point all those amazing moments when the person really was a rock star. This way, you're going to motivate them, give them energy to continue, and they will also know that it's something that is good, so they will continue doing more of it. Here is tip number 3. So you probably know from your own experience that feedback can be a very negative experience, especially when we end up taking it personally. And because people do have a tendency of taking any kind of criticism personally, here is something what you can do to help them look at feedback in an objective way. So instead of feedbacking and giving your opinion on how the person is or their traits, their personality, or their looks, you only want to talk about their behavior because behavior is something they can change. So when giving feedback, make sure you refer to a particular situation where you can point out how the person behaves so they have a better understanding of what you mean, but also they can see clearly that whatever they did is something that they could have also managed differently and that their sense of worthiness or of feeling important is not shaken simply by the fact that the behavior could have been altered. Here is number 4, and this is something that I have personally experienced so many times. So if you're working for a big company, you probably have sessions once or twice a year where everybody gets feedback. What it means that sometimes in one day you give feedback to 3 or 5 different people, and within a week, who knows, maybe 20 different people. Now, it's normal that when that happens, we try to skip through things and make it fast, and we don't actually take time to really focus on the person, and we end up giving a very general feedback that is just of no value to anybody. So avoid that. Don't go general. Instead, make sure that when you are giving feedback to a particular person, you are making it personal. You're making it about them. Let me give you an example. Let's say there was a time recently in your company where everybody had to share a project in front of the whole company. Now, of course, some people perform better, some people perform worse. Now, it's very easy to create a few points about public speaking that you would share in your feedback session with everybody. But everybody is different and you should consider it. You might have a person in your team who's very outgoing, who loves being on stage, and then you have somebody who's very shy. You shouldn't be giving the same tips and the same feedback to these two people. You do want to consider where the person comes from, what kind of experience they have, who they are, how they feel in different situations, and then you want to make sure that the feedback you're giving is relevant to them. Here is number 6, and it's an awesome thing you can do to help the person grow, but at the same time build relationship with them, build trust, and make sure that this person will feel very open and safe to share things with you, which is quite essential for a successful relationship at work. This tip is to discuss the goals of the person you're giving feedback to. Now that means both goals at work and personal goals. So you want to ask the person, what do they want? What do they want to achieve at work now? And whether they have any other goals they're working towards to, which might not be relevant to work at all. And see if you can help this person come up with certain action steps to get closer to those goals. Sometimes it might mean that maybe you can look at their position and change it a little bit, or engage them in new projects, or give them more time, anything. But if you can build this kind of trust with the person, where they will openly share with you what they will want from life, at work and outside of work, you are creating the relationship that's going to pay off hugely. So make sure that you include this part in your feedback session. And then the last thing you want to do is to follow up. Look, too often people hate giving feedback, so they do it because they have to, and then they just forget about it. But frankly, if you just spend 30 minutes or 1 hour with somebody giving them feedback and you never follow up, it's kind of like you never gave the feedback in the first place. So make sure you spend some time doing it. Let's say after 3 months, catch up with this person. Go for lunch, shoot them an email, see how things are going, and see if the changes that you were discussing are being implemented. In big companies, very often feedback happens once a year. So if you told somebody to change a certain behavior, and then it took you a whole year to notice that they never did it, you wasted tons of time and money. So you want to be following up every 3 months. Even if there is no official feedback session designed for you, you need to make sure that you continue talking to this person. You keep seeing whether they're improving their behavior or not, whether they're working better or not, or if something is changing, something is happening, how those goals are working for them, and be there for this person. Remember, learning, it's not something you do 30 minutes once a year. It's a continuous process. So approach feedback as a small one part of the whole learning process of the person. Well, thank you so much. I really hope that with these tips, you will be able to really provide an awesome feedback to other people, and it will also help you in situations when you are the one receiving it. Remember, feedback is a gift. It just needs to be delivered in a proper way so that it actually provides value instead of discouraging people. If you like those tips, please like this video, share it on Facebook, share it with your friends, and especially with anybody who might benefit from those tips. And if you're working for a big company, why don't you shoot the email of this video to your HR department? I'm sure they will appreciate this as well. And as always, thank you so much for your time that you spent watching these videos. I love making those videos for you, and I love knowing that they can help you. So thank you so much once again. I'll see you next week.